Welcome to Ed Fluential Sports, where passion meets precision. As I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And this is episode 9 of We Upon, a series I do 2 episodes per month as I fantasy book wrestlers to win championships. And so most of this stuff probably won't happen, but it is what it is. So in this video, as you see in the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be booking Jimmy Uso to win the WWE Championship, how I will book him to win it, and how I will book his reign. And most of this, the entire story, is going to be based on the AJ Styles retirement tour video I did. So you didn't see that, I'm gonna leave a link in the description, but check that out. How I fantasy booked AJ Styles / Year in Wrestling. So that's what some of these ideas are going to be based off of. But Jimmy Uso winning the title is going to come from him feeling like an afterthought, since every OG Bloodline member won a singles title, being after the Bloodline concluded. Solo, when he left, became U.S. champion. Jay, when he left, became ICN world champion. Uh, Sammy ended up defeating Gunther. I think that was after, if I'm not mistaken, after the Bloodline stuff. And obviously, some of that stuff is still relevant now. Roman, he was obviously champion during that time of the Bloodline and still going after or he should be going after the championship. I don't know what his goal is at the moment, but he's the only OG Bloodline member to not win singles gold. So that's what it's going to lead to. But first, we're going to start, and really from January to August, it's just going to be the Usos and the tag team. So the singles push won't kick off again until August. So the Usos and their tag team title reign, they're going to win it. I think they'll win it due to Gunther interfering so they can start that story with AJ Styles. And then the Usos, I predict them, once they win it, to have it until SummerSlam. I think in January and February they'll do a feud with the New Day. One of the classic tag team rivalries is right there. No need to put it on the New Day, but might as well tell the story since you already have it, and you know they can tell an intricate tag team story and bring back the division. In March, I had them do a short feud with Rival and Bravo. I think that's or whatever his name is, the little El Grande people. So I'd do something with them because I'm pretty sure that's Pete Dunne and what's the name? I forgot the other dude's name. Tyler Bate. I'm pretty sure it's those two. So whether it's them unmasked or with the mask, I just do something just for the month of March. Don't got to be super long, but at least let them do something if they're gonna keep playing into this El Grande character. And apparently it's getting over in AAA. So shout out to Ludwig Kaiser. I mean El Grande. Then in April and May, I would have them have a feud with Division, so that could be Brunson. That'll probably be Brunson Reed and Logan Paul, or it could be or do Brunson Reed and Austin Theory if you want to have Logan Paul got to the mid card title, since Braun Breaker already be world champion at that point. But I would have them tell a story with the Vision from April to May. Then in June, I would have them feud with Alpha Academy, the Usos. Then I will also have Obafemi debut on Raw and defeat Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. We'll see a big title change on Raw, which is something we haven't seen in a while. So I think when Oba debuts, he should already be in the world title picture. And the reason why I don't have him on SmackDown is because of how the story is going to end, how Jimmy's story is going to end. So it all makes sense at the end. But Oba is going to debut and immediately win the World Heavyweight Championship. In July and August, I would have the Usos feud with the Creed brothers. The Creed brothers are one of my favorite tag teams. I'm disgusted that they aren't on TV and barely being shown. But if I was booking this, I would have them on TV and have them feud with the Usos to win the tag team championships from the Usos, and that'll make them a bigger deal. Then for Roman Reigns, what's also going to be a part of this story, I would have Roman feud with Cody and a non-title feud for WrestleMania. If you're wondering why it's a non-title, it's because Gunther is WWE champion, and this is what I booked in the retirement tour I did for AJ Styles. So if you were confused about that, that's why. Then going into SummerSlam, I would have Roman do a non-title feud with Seth Rollins, because I think you got to have good non-title feuds, because obviously you're going to have some good championship feuds. I feel like you can make it happen if you put the titles on these younger guys, take more chances, do different stuff, and if it doesn't work out, just give it to somebody you trust. If it don't work out with Braun Breaker, give it back to somebody you trust, to Seth Rollins once he comes back, or Roman Reigns. Like, you don't got to just put it on him and keep the title on him forever, but at least take a chance with it and have these top stars do more non-title feuds. As we've seen with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk in 2024, that was the best story of the year, and it didn't have a title on the line. So do more non-title feuds with your bigger stars. And now that all the groundkeeping stuff is out the way, now we get to how the singles push is going to happen for Jimmy Uso. August 7th, Gunther cuts the promo, gets interrupted by Roman Reigns. That's a SmackDown, by the way. Roman, he can just rotate between brands. They don't really care. They let Roman do whatever. And he's on a part-time schedule anyways, so it is what it is. But in this storyline, he's going to be full-time, showing up every week because he will be working for me in this situation. But that's how I would do it. But Roman Reigns interrupts the promo. August 14th, you have Gunther attack Roman Reigns, talk trash after attacking him, and then you have a trade announced in the middle of the show. SmackDown is sending Cody Rhodes and the Motor City Machine Guns to Raw for Rey Mysterio and the Usos. I'm assuming Dominic is still going to be on Raw. I don't see him going to SmackDown. Got to get Rey and Dominic away from each other. The Motor City Machine Guns need something new. Send them to Raw. The Usos, they got to be with Roman. They have to be close. Can't keep the family away from each other. Get the Usos back on the same brand as Roman so they can keep telling this story that, which I'm gonna get to that in a second. It's all gonna make sense. But the story has to be the Usos and Roman staying on the same brand, and then Cody, then Oba can get his get back against Cody as well. Uh, with Oba being world heavyweight champion, Cody will be able to. Cody and Oba get running back, and then with Drew still on SmackDown, you get Drew and Cody away from each other. Then August 21st, you have SmackDown have Roman do a promo. He wants Gunther Money in the Bank, and then Gunther accepts the challenge. Jimmy Uso defeats Ilya Dragunov to qualify for Money in the Bank. Then August 28th, SmackDown have Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Ilya team up to defeat the OG Bloodline and Jimmy, Jay, and Roman. Then September 4th, SmackDown have Gunther and Roman do the contract signing, and you don't got to do it a massive brawl and done. They don't got to shake hands, but it could be like Roman or Gunther, one of them pushing each other to the side. Because I'm still not buying Roman as a face, but Gunther would be the heel in this situation, so it could work out. And then the Money in the Bank participants, they get into a huge brawl. September 6th, which is going to be Money in the Bank, I will have Roman Reigns defeat Gunther to open the show to become new WWE champion. He finally gets his championship back after 2 years, I think, because he didn't go after it this year. So yeah, this would be 2026. It'll be 2 years since he had been WWE champion, and he gets it back. Which for Roman it won't matter because he's still been relevant. So, and then I would have Jimmy win Money in the Bank featuring Finn Balor, uh, Austin Theory, and Penta, Trick Williams, and Tama Tonga. And then to close the show, I would have Jimmy. He finds Roman in the back, as if they're celebrating. They pretend to celebrate. Jay's back, but Jay isn't back there with him, so that's gonna be very telling because people are wondering where Jay is. And that's when Jimmy cashes in backstage as a fake celebration, and then he ends up becoming WWE champion. Nobody expects it. People don't know what to think. They don't know if this is a heel turn or what. And you get to September 11th, SmackDown. Jimmy Uso explains he just did what he had to do to become champion. He felt like an afterthought. He was never able to win a singles title, and he was able to get the opportunity to win it and had to do it by any means necessary. Roman Reigns, he feels betrayed, so Jay has to play the mediator. He has to step in between the two to calm down the situation, which is going to be impossible to do that. But then you have September 18th, Jimmy Uso, he comes face to face with World Heavyweight Champion Obafemi because now we're leading to Crown Jewel, and that's the champion versus champion matches. But the story with Roman Reigns is still gonna be told, so Jimmy's just gonna have to tell both stories at the same time. September 25th, SmackDown, you get Jey Uso talking to Roman Reigns backstage and talking to Jimmy in separate segments and trying to calm down the situation. But Roman Reigns, he wants his match the exact SmackDown before Crown Jewel. He really wants to wear out Jimmy because if he beats him, he takes the title. But even if he wins, he beats him up going into Crown Jewel. October 2nd, over Femi, he approaches Jimmy and is telling him shouldn't be too concerned about Roman because you're gonna have to deal with me even if you get out of that match. And because Jimmy is gonna be, he has to compete in those back-to-back matches. So October 9th SmackDown, Jimmy Uso defeats Roman Reigns to retain the title, but Jay is a special guest referee, and that's how you tell the story of Jay and Roman once again, and that's gonna continue. Jay won't be trying to get the world title again, but he wants to get the revenge. Even though Jimmy and Roman have cost him, well, more specifically, Jimmy has cost him title matches. Jay wants to see his brother succeed. It's no more heel Jay. It's just a more serious version of the Usos. And Jay is going to go after a mid card title, but first he got to get through Roman Reigns. So they're going to continue to tell that story. Then on Crown Jewel, October 10th, Obafemi is going to crush Jimmy Uso due to the fact that he was already beat down by Roman the previous night. So, or not even beat down, but just he had went through a lot that previous night. October 16th SmackDown, Jimmy Uso cuts a promo, which is then at the end, to start the show, then at the end of it, he gets attacked by Aleister Black. And then this is how Naomi is going to be brought back. Because October 23rd, well, in a few weeks following that, October 23rd, SmackDown, have Jimmy talk about the failures of Aleister Black from 2025 to 2026, how he had to get the help of Selena Vega, how he couldn't win a championship, how we couldn't even get a match versus Cody Rhodes despite the match being teased. And if he did, I think he lost. I think they did have a one-on-one match, but he lost it. He could talk about the failures of Aleister Black. And then Aleister Black has a match with R-Truth that same night and defeats him and asks, is that enough for you to get my attention now? So October 30th, SmackDown, have Jimmy Uso defeat Solo Sikoa in a match. Solo is trying to prove that he can hold that title, just like Jimmy isn't able to do it. Jimmy gets the win. Then Aleister Black pops up on the screen and he just lights Jimmy Uso's car on fire. Then this is when we get to Naomi's return, November 6th. They not even don't even hide it. Just have Naomi kidnap Selena Vega, and then that's gonna piss off Aleister Black. He's gonna be heated. Him and Jimmy get into a heated segment, and Jimmy is just laughing in his face. So then November 13th, the story with Roman and Jay is still continuing at this point. So how the Usos take on Aleister Black and Roman Reigns in a match, and the Usos get the win there. So then November 20th, Aleister Black and Jimmy Uso, they do the contract signing, ends in a brawl, typical contract signing. November 27th, have a match with Aleister Black and Selena Vega teaming up versus Jimmy and Naomi. You got to take a chance here. Let Aleister Black and Selena Vega get the win. Have Jimmy take the pin. Naomi's just coming back recently, so she don't got to take the pin. Even if she does, it could be justified that she just came back. But have Aleister Black get the pin going into their match. Have him and Selena stand tall. November 28th, Survivor Series, Jimmy Uso defeats Aleister Black to retain the championship. Now we get to December, where things are going to change a lot. December 4th, SmackDown, Carmelo Hayes vows to win the WWE Championship, and Jimmy Uso has respect for him. This is going to be the only face versus face feud. Well, I guess Roman is a face technically, but this going to be a face versus face feud. He has respect for him, but he don't plan on losing that title anytime soon, and it's really going to be no outside fact. There's not going to be any outside factors, and there's nobody's interfering on either side. December 11th, Beat the Clock Challenge. Whoever can win their match faster gets to pick the date for their match. So Jimmy, and they're not going to say it, but Jimmy, he wants to have his match at the Royal Rumble because he wants to walk into 2026 as champion. But Carmelo Hayes has luck when it comes around Christmas time. I'll explain that in a second. But Carmelo Hayes wants his match on Christmas, which they're not going to say it, but whoever wins, they're going to let that be known. So Jimmy Uso has a match with Damian Priest, defeats him in 10 minutes and 33 seconds. Carmelo Hayes has a match with Shinsuke Nakamura, who, if he's still active, because I know he mentioned retirement, but if he's still active, match with Shinsuke Nakamura, Carmelo wins in 8 minutes and 37 seconds. He gets to pick his date, Christmas Day. December 25th, his SmackDown will be on Christmas in 2026. So December 18th, have a promo between the two, ends with a handshake. Then December 25th, the Christmas edition of SmackDown, Carmelo Hayes defeats Jimmy Uso to become WWE champion. So then Jimmy Uso in 2026 would have had an 8-month title reign as tag team champions, 8-month tag team title reign, would have won Money in the Bank and been WWE champion for 4 months. And then the stuff with the bloodline, I don't know. Obviously, it's still stuff that I mentioned here, but I don't think you got to circle back to him and Roman. Even if you did wanted Roman to get the win, probably better off doing the triple threat with Jay being involved as well. But that's how I booked Jimmy to win the WWE Championship and just have a 4 month reign. It don't got to be nothing super crazy, but I do want to see Jimmy get the opportunity to be a singles champion, whether that's a mid card title or a world title, because everybody else in the OG Bloodline has benefited from it except for Jimmy. Like he's doing good mic work. He's putting on good matches, telling good stories. But it's like he's the only one that hasn't benefited from it. And maybe he can benefit. Maybe he will. But they had to sacrifice him in order for Jay to get his moment because they had the deeper story to it was Jimmy being taken out and not being able to compete at WrestleMania because of Gunther. When you could have had him and Melo have a match for the U.S. title at WrestleMania, but if you didn't see, now this is a spoiler because this is going to be out Wednesday, 2 days before SmackDown. So if you didn't see the spoiler already, skip ahead, 10 seconds so you don't be spoiled by me. But Carmelo Hayes did win the U.S. Championship recently on SmackDown, which is going to be the December 26th edition. So my logic of Carmelo winning on Christmas Day to become WWE champion is his special moments always happen the week of Christmas, because that would be a day after Christmas, and then he would win the WWE Championship Christmas Day. So then that could be his. You could tell that story, or that could just be Carmelo Hayes' career in WWE. His special moments always happen the week of Christmas. It could just maybe in 2027, him and Trick Williams become tag team champions the week of Christmas in 2027, 2028. He wins the WWE Championship for the second time on the week of Christmas. But Carmelo, I would have him lose the U.S. title to Trick at WrestleMania in 2026. And then once he wins the championship in this story in 2020, in late 2026, I would have him hold it past WrestleMania. That way, he don't start his Mania career 0-2. But with that being said, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment what y'all thought of this fantasy booking, and share for others to see. Shout out to Carmelo Hayes and Jimmy. Hopefully he'll finally be able to benefit. Like I said, whether it's mid card or world title, hopefully Jimmy can benefit soon from being a member of the OG Bloodline.